easy. Those two bodyguards are kind of staring at you. What do you guys do?
Is that an elf?
No, they are all
Kidding.
humans.
He was kidding, Dylan. Because it's the same token as the...
Yes. All right, so Kane's going and sitting
Bye,
down.
Kane.
Yeah. Kana is also gonna sit and watch the lady sing.
She's like Jessica Rabbit sexy, by the way.
Damn.
Not bad, just drawn that way.
Huh?
Mm-hmm.
So, you guys all sit down. The people in here are all dressed very similar to the way you are. It looks like you did a good job on picking those outfits, Alistair. There's idle conversation going around, and can everyone roll me some sort of check to blend in? You can make this check whatever you want. Just describe to me how you're blending in. Like a stealth to try and not be noticeable, a perform to act like others are, whatever you want to do, just explain to me how that skill relates to
Oh
what you're
god.
Oh,
Wait,
yeah,
Wait, I have lucky. I'm gonna re-roll that.
Oh, you
I
took
was
the
just
lucky
being real chill and inconspicuous and
I'm gonna re-roll
leaning
that.
against the counter like
Lucky-
he's used to
lucky
it.
Die.
Kona's gonna act like everybody else.
Okay, so roll checks for it. Alistair,
He will sit there, look like
course,
he's enjoying
Martin
himself.
Martin, why
enjoy-
does it say alchemists?
It's an alchemist kit.
Oh, and you're smoking a cigar. Okay.
I mean,
Okay, yeah.
that's fair.
You guys all like no one really takes any notice of you. They look suspiciously at Alistair for a bit, but like it looks like eventually they all just lose interest and return to their own conversation. You guys are being treated at like the same level any outsider would be right now, with no one really rushing to serve you, but they're also not snubbing you, nor are they suspicious of you at the moment. The bartender is looking at those who sat down at the table.
I'ma just lift up two fingers. Just kind of a when you have a moment type thing. Like
Yeah, he walks over. He's a large man, not like as big as the bodyguards out there, but it's
Right.
clear that like he works out. He's wearing an apron over top. He's wearing like a big leather apron over top of his work clothing.
Interesting. Okay.
He says, "All right, what can I get you?"
What are your options here? I know it differs from place to place.
He lists off a series of drinks that are low class, inexpensive stuff mostly, moonshine, shit like that. You notice that well, actually, sorry, roll me an investigation.
Yep. Damn, I almost got it free. I probably don't notice.
Yeah, no, you don't notice anything out of the ordinary as he speaks and lists off his list of alcohols. Yomi and Alistair, you're also at the bar. You can all roll this investigation as well.
Do it.
Alistair, you have an alchemist kit. You can actually roll this at advantage.
Investigation, you said.
Yes. Despite it being a relatively cheap liquor in every world, he doesn't list anything to do with vodka.
I understand. In character I don't, but out of character I do. Alright, Bo will just pick one that sounds good.
All right, yeah. We'll
The
pick...
vodka does exist though in
Yes.
Meridon and well in
Vodka exists everywhere.
okay.
Okay.
So you're totally aware that this world has vodka in it. You can tell that without needing to make any sort of checks. Anytime you guys enter a world, Krieger kind of dumps all the world's history and information into your head, and when you guys roll history and shit checks, it's to see if you can actively recall and pick out the relevant information from the shit that Krieger just fills. Knowing that vodka is a thing is not something you need to make a check for.
Can I roll a perception to see if there is any vodka on like the shelves or something?
Yes, roll at advantage because you're looking for something specific and in a specific area.
Yeah, I'll wait. I want to see what happens.
You don't see any vodka, but you do see the kind of glasses that vodka is normally served in.
Okay. Anyone else want to do something?
I just ordered a drink, something with color.
He's going to give you moonshine with apple cinnamon in it.
Perfect.
You can actually see
apple
this
pie moonshine. Are you kidding me?
That's got a big cinnamon stick in it, actually. And it's got sort of a yellowish tint.
That's still a drink with color.
And
Alistair orders something just straight.
You get a whiskey. It's cheap whiskey, but it's still whiskey. You guys are going to get charged. Bo, your moonshine is worth about 2 silver. He charges you. Alistair, it's whiskey, which is more expensive, and he's going to charge you 50 silver for yours.
Okay.
I'm gonna give him 5 silver, just because
He raises his hand and says, "No, thank you," when you try to put more money on it.
Yeah,
And
that's
I'll just
that's-
say, would it be rude of me to insist?
that's capitalist behavior.
Extremely, he says.
Then I won't, and I'll take the 3 silver back.
You must not be around
Right.
here.
This.
The bartender says to you, Bo.
Nah, just traveling through, but...
By the way, it's too bad Blade Dancer isn't here because his character would totally be Russian.
Mm-hmm.
Like, nah, just traveling through, but I always try to be conscientious and not rude to anyone.
Roll persuasion. At normal.
To be fair, that's not a lie.
No, I know it's not like that's why it's persuasion, not deception. I'm just trying to see like if you manage to avoid offending him too much, or if he like takes offense at it.
Oh yeah, no, that's just me saying I like to be kind.
Yeah, no.
If you need a tip, here you go. If you don't want it, no problem.
This was a check to see if like you could tell if you were sincere or not, and he can tell that you're sincere, and so he says, "Think nothing of it." And he says, "I appreciate you trying to help. If you want, we do accept donations. In that can at the back there. That's for upkeeping the bar." And he pauses for a moment, and just then says, "Yeah, just upkeeping the bar."
So, tell
Understandable.
Tell me, good sir, who is that?
I'd like to pause for a moment from the people at the bar, and I'd like to go to the table, if that's all right, before we move on.
That's fine.
Table people.
Mhm.
No one's come over to serve you. You're starting to get the feeling that this is the kind of establishment where you have to go to the bar to order your drinks.
I'll go to the bar if you don't
Kane
mind
will
here.
follow them to the
Nah.
bar.
Maruna is just gonna sit there.
You do see some people
Oh, do
drinking.
you want to go alone?
Mm-hmm.
That's fine.
You do see people drinking at tables, however, so it's clear that you can bring your alcohol back here, but you have to go to the bar to order.
Mm-hmm. Then Koda goes up to the bar.
Okay.
And she does the lift a hand thing.
So you got to move your token for me.
Oh.
There is a map on this one.
Yeah.
The bartender walks over to here.
Hello, dear. Got anything strong?
Plenty.
And then your strongest, please.
He nods and pulls out a jar of moonshine that is almost absolutely clear.
Oh,
Never
nice.
clear.
Like it's
One of those.
it's almost absolutely clear. You actually thought the jar might have been empty for a moment until you saw like the liquid at the top wiggle a little bit.
Absolutely.
That's
And,
the good stuff.
He pours an extremely small amount of this moonshine into a jar.
Thank you. Also, a gin.
Sorry, sir?
A
Miss?
gin for those on the table.
We don't have any gin here.
That's
None
a
whatsoever.
capitalist drink.
Ah.
Um,
How about something from the homeland?
What?
Well, where are you
Wow.
from?
Blinks
Where are
at
you
you says, and what would your homeland be?
No.
Obviously. What do I look like?
Where did I say? Oh, right.
Damn.
Spanish.
Yeah, Spanish. I'm sorry, we don't have any wine here.
What about tequila? Tequila.
Tequila's
Tequila's
Mexican.
Mexico.
Yeah, close enough for someone.
No.
No.
How the
She
fuck?
very clearly does not look Mexican. Spanish people and Mexican look really different in America. Like in this timeline. Essentially, although she's dressed in workman's clothing, being from Spain, she holds herself in an entirely different way than a Mexican would.
I think he's just making a joke, Dylan.
I know, I know, but I want to be very clear on this point. Like Mexican back then was treated as badly as black.
Yeah, pretty much.
So like it's very clear that she is not Mexican.
Then where are you from? Since you don't have wine.
I think.
Would
what-
you just like a whiskey? That seems to be what most Americans prefer.
Yeah, thanks. I'm new.
And he puts a whiskey similar to the one that Alistair got on the table. And he's going to charge you that moonshine really, really cheap. He's only charging you 3 copper for it. The whiskey is 50 silver.
Put it on that gentleman's tab. He points at Kane.
I'm sorry, we don't know him. I can't run a tab.
Hamburg.
Don't worry. A gentleman always comes prepared and he pays for the drinks.
Put it to the people's tab.
The people's.
Oh shit!
Well,
The bartender crosses his arms and says, "Which people?" Oh, wait, no. Sorry, I'm going to make the reference. What do you mean, people?
Aren't we all humans?
wow.
Nice save.
I don't know you. You don't get to drink free. Still have to
But
have the cost of
Good,
the
good,
bar.
sir. I'm paying for the lovely lady, of course.
Very well.
Such is a gentleman's duty.
We sell our drinks at cost here. We still have to be able to buy a new one. It's not an ideal system, but we're working. And Alistair, you slide the money over, and he takes it.
50 silver and 3 copper, right?
Yes. Kane, Mona, are you guys doing anything?
She brings the drinks back. And gives the moonshine to Kane.
Oh.
It's clear, Kane. It's absolutely clear.
Here, dear. You seem like you want something strong.
Also, Kane, with you're like you are just naturally good at smelling liquids. You're pretty sure that you could use this to clean your sword.
It's not water.
Oh. Dear. Very
Like-
thoughtful of you. My knife
like-
does need a good clean.
The smell of this drink is almost overpowering, and you haven't even picked it up yet.
Oh, don't be a pansy. You can drink that. I'm sure of it.
You're pretty sure that if you spilt this, it would leave a hole in the floor. You
Can I try
the
to persuade
bartender.
him to drink it?
you think you saw the bartender using it to varnish the bar.
Just stick a cinnamon stick in it. You'll be fine.
You could have sworn you saw him pour on other alcohol to clean that alcohol.
Ah, yes, 4 a.m. shenanigans.
No, sorry. She tried to convince Kane to drink it.
Kane looks at her and goes, well, I'm not just gonna waste a good drink brought to me by you, of course. And he bites the edge of his finger,
Okay.
drops a couple drops of blood in it.
Roll stealth.
Hell yeah.
Let me just roll for the lady's perform to see if people are looking her way instead of yours.
They better be.
Most of them are. The bodyguards, however, are looking right at you as you do this.
That's fine.
All right, and then you drink it.
And I drink it.
It's like you're pretty sure that you saw your blood just evaporate as it touched this liquid.
Oh, if I saw my blood evaporate, I wouldn't
kidding.
fucking drink it.
I'm kidding. It's a metaphor. And as you drink it, this is like the. Have you ever had moonshine, Earl?
Yeah.
It's strong. It's
Have you-
delicious, but it
The
burns.
moonshine that you had was legal moonshine. This is like 99.9% alcohol. You are essentially drinking paint thinner.
That's fucking great.
Roll a con save to see
It
if you
doesn't-
do get drunk.
Actually, because it's not like it's still not enough to get you drunk immediately off of one drink, because this isn't a magical drink. Like in Fantasyland, yeah, you can get totally fucking plastered off of one drink. Kane, you need to roll me a Constitution save to make sure you don't go blind,
Oh?
which is an actual thing that can happen if you drink some severely strong alcohol. I've had 99.9% alcohol, by the way.
Guys, I don't want Kane to go blind.
It is a type of vodka, and literally on the bottle, it had a warning label saying that you could go blind from this, and if you experience any side effects from drinking this vodka, please go to a
mean-
hospital.
If you do go blind, you have a reason to go to the Venus Arc.
Yep.
Yeah.
Here we go. No!
You're good. Good. It tasted awful, though. It was disgusting. However, it does feel nice and warm in your belly 10 minutes later. Let's move back to the bar, people. Unless Moana wants to.
Oh, as he like chokes down the drink and he just like raises up his drink and he's like, to the common man.
Do you loudly proclaim that in the whole bar?
I mean, I just kind of say it like at a normal tone around
Okay.
myself.
Cool.
So if people are paying attention to me, they'll hear it. But if they're not, they won't.
Mona, are you doing anything, or do you want me to move on?
Move on. He can't drink because he thinks he's pregnant.
Oh,
yeah,
right.
right.
So, she Kona drinks his drink and hers.
Oh wait, you got 2 drinks?
Yeah, I got them for them.
Oh, I didn't know you got two whiskeys.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, hang on. Let me take off.
I said
another
for
50.
those who are like on the table.
Yeah, sorry. That's another 50.
I'll take off another 50 silver.
Cool.
I'm sorry.
Bar people, what are you doing? You
Good
enjoying
sir, excuse me.
Yeah.
The singer, who is she? I do think I recognize her voice somewhere. That's why I'm asking.
I know. I'm totally trying to think of a name. Jessica.
Jessica.
Didn't think that much.
Has she been working here for long?
She comes in every now and then. We don't. She's not hired or anything. She comes and sings when she wants to, and she works entirely on tips.
Oh, I see. So she's not an employee of yours.
No. We don't employ anybody here.
Oh, I see. And that's why you need the tip jar to...
It's not tips, it's donations.
You know what I mean. Donations, tips.
Yes, sir.
Just all the same.
Agreed.
Well then.
Did you want to roll a persuasion or anything on this?
I mean, I can. I'm not sure what I'm persuading.
Just if you just ever want to roll something, you can. Yeah. You guys like he doesn't he just chats with you about this. Yomi?
I mean, she's in the den of brutes right now, so.
Did Yomi order a drink?
No, she
Did
did
you order
not.
a drink?
She did
No,
not.
Yomi ordered a drink.
Bartender, an orange juice for the little lady over here.
We don't sell orange.
How about a glass of water?
We don't sell water.
No, you don't. Is it not free to use tap water?
We don't have taps.
Oh, I see, of course. So, little lady, would you like to have a taste of what?
The grown-ups drink?
Of what equality tastes like?
Are you after my saliva?
That would sound entirely too indecent, young lady.
Yes, it is indecent.
And that is not a proper way for a young lady such as yourself to speak.
She's just sitting there, muttering my saliva. Please don't take my saliva.
Shit,
Okay.
I've been talking muted.
I'm just going to say some of the lyrics, by the way, that this lady is singing. I'm not going to try and sing or make them fit, but just to a jazzy kind of, okay. Life was stringing me along, then you came and cut me loose. With solo singing on my own, now I can't find the key without you. And now your song is on repeat, and I'm dancing to your heartbeat. And when you were gone, I feel incomplete. So if you want the truth, and she just continues on. That's the only relevant cut on.
So, what I was saying before my muted microphone so rudely interrupted me. I looked over to Yomi as she was being talked to by Alistair and said, "Okay, this pains me just to listen to. Do you want a drink? Yes or no? I'll get you one if you want."
No, they're after my bodily fluids.
I'll get you one and wipe down the glass.
I'm sure you're after my bodily fluids too.
I mean, not really. You're not up to my standards.
Don't pester the young lady. Let her do what she wants.
Hey, look, let us have our lovers' quarrel. Right here. She didn't respond?
I mean, she just said, I'm sure you're also after my bodily fluids, so that's all.
Yeah, and then I said, yeah, but you're not up to my standards.
She's just muttering, don't take my saliva. Continues on, muttering that.
Rocking back and forward slightly in her chair.
Tears forming in the corners of her eyes.
Don't cry, it has a bodily fluid.
As tears begin forming in the corners of your eyes, Yomi, you realize with horror that is a bodily fluid. And you start wondering if the communist wants your tears as well. Is anybody doing anything else?
I mean, I would, but I don't know what.
Mm-hmm.
I guess Alistair takes out a handkerchief and puts it on the counter in front of Yomi, so she can wipe her tears. Other than that,
She
You're
don't
just
want your
trying to
pity.
collect my bodily fluids.
yeah.
She don't want your pity. It's a strong, independent woman, and she don't need no handkerchief.
Don't need no drinks either.
Apparently not. Huh? Can't blame a guy for trying.
Can't you see that you're disrupting the poor lady? You made her cry. No proper man should make a proper lady cry.
We're
Raises
trying to
eyebrow.
listen to the lady sing.
And what
Yeah,
a
but-
lovely song it is.
Can I roll Intimidate to just kind of give Alistair a look that says shut the fuck up?
No, you don't need to. I don't like it when people roll social skills against each other.
That's true.
You can just say that you're giving him a look that says shut the fuck up.
Yeah, so Martin, you're getting a look.
He's not. He hasn't been looking at you this entire time.
You feel snubbed.
Yes, that.
I don't know what you want us to do, Dylan. I don't
Yeah.
see anything that we
I
can
mean, you're
do
not doing
here.
anything. You're not trying to talk to anyone. I've given you pretty clear hints from some rolls you got. So if you're not seeing what I want you to do, then that's on you.
Then I don't know what I don't know what to do then. And
Well,
that's
He
you know
said
that you're
specific
supposed to
words for
investigate that this. You're supposed to investigate that this speakeasy has ties towards the communist organization.
And
You
so
know
far,
what? I'm gonna
the
roll an
bartender-
investigation.
Okay,
I'm gonna use my
perfect. There's someone doing something now.
my
You guys can make
inspiration.
rolls at any point if you wanted more information. Perceptions, investigations, whatever you want. And then I can
Yes,
give you hints
public.
once you do stuff like that based on what you get.
Oh, okay. Well, fuck me, I guess.
No,
Nice.
that's still not bad. You can very clearly see that some people, now that you're actually like looking, they are drinking things in the same cups that vodka is meant to be served in, and it's a clear
Oh.
white liquid.
Kona looks at it and stands up and goes
You,
back to the bartender.
I'm guessing that when you were sitting over there earlier too, Alistair passed on the information about what he learned about there not being vodka on the menu. Right?
sure.
Cool.
She points at one of the glasses. Can I have one of those?
What do you want in it?
Well, whatever everyone else is drinking in those cups.
He puts down one of the cups and pours a little bit of moonshine in it. It's very clear that this liquid is different from what's in the rest of everybody else's.
She stares at the cup, stares at him. Do I have to really say it out loud?
I don't know what you're asking.
Well, I would like some vodka, please.
All right.
Thank you.
What kind of vodka would you like?
The straight?
He seems to be waiting for something else.
Is he? Well, actually, would I need to roll a history check to know brands of vodka?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that'd be a perfect check to make actually.
Please tell me you're good at it, because I am.
No, fuck that. But I do have at least a +1.
Perfect. So, Alistair, you know that there is a vodka brand that is very popular with the communist bloc, as it's made and distributed free in Russia.
I don't want to get like a copyright infringement or like something like that.
I'm not in the brand name.
So I'm calling it the People's Vodka.
That'll work totally. And
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, he looks at you both, nods, and brings out cups, pours a little bit of vodka from 2 separate bottles in, and then leaves the bottles directly in front of you with the label facing. The label says the People's Vodka and looks to be an ordinary label.
Finally, some proper
Mhm.
spirits.
I'm gonna roll an investigation again. In case there's like a code or something.
All right, Kona,
Mhm.
you notice that one of the sides of the label is slightly dog-eared, as if someone had been picking at the side.
She leans to Alistair and whispers whatever she learned. Perhaps you can make of it.
So if
I'd like
So
to
no
just
one-
quickly ask if anyone else is doing anything, or should we continue with those two?
I mean, Yomi sees this and then her fingers get itchy.
I'm just asking for clarification. But the other bottle looks pristine, right?
Roll me an investigation. Actually,
Oh.
yeah, investigation at advantage, because this time you know what you're looking for. The DC is really low. You can do a perception as well.
Oh, that's disadvantage.
Yeah, that was
Whoops.
disadvantage, so I'm going to take the 20. You notice that your label is also dog-eared, and you can actually see little bits of glue on the bottle, which means that this label was taken off and placed back on.
So I slowly peel the label off.
As you peel the label off, you can see that there's writing on the back of the label that was pushed up against the bottle and had gone unnoticeable. And as you peel it off, it's a flyer. It's a flyer detailing that the sickle and hammer movement will be meeting at a location, and it gives an address. Down that a quick like cross reference of your map. Like what you guys can do publicly. No one's gonna look at you weird for that. Leads you to a warehouse near a pier. And it looks like the meeting is for later this evening, at midnight.
Is the label still sticky?
Yes.
I place it back on the bottle.
Once you do, the bartender, who was making a pointed effort not to look at you previously, once the label's back, he takes the bottle, tops up your glass, and then puts the bottle away underneath the bar, which is why you didn't see these bottles earlier, Alice.
Right.
I'm guessing you do the sort of same thing. Kana? Alex?
Oh, no wonder, guys, you couldn't hear me. Yes.
Yeah.
She takes her drink and...
Yeah. Once you're done doing that, he also takes the bottle away and puts it under.
And she looks at Alistair and she's like, to the common man. And drinks.
Alright. You guys essentially have what you need. If you want to discover more information, you definitely can.
Damn, stealing my
If you want
quote.
to, you're all aware that you've completed your main goal of finding a connection to the communists, and you can pursue the investigation further. You're also totally aware that with the map, there would be no way for you to get back to headquarters and make the meeting at the same time. So you're gonna have to choose between going to the meeting or reporting this to Bert.
I mean, we could also split up again.
No.
Don't
Splitting the
split up the
party.
party.
I'm gonna, as a GM, say no. Do not do that. That would be a very poor idea.
Okay, that's fair. Just suggesting a bad suggestion.
Let's just go. I want to go to the meeting.
I mean, yeah, like we gotta.
Yeah. I also want to go to the meeting, but I want to see if there's somebody else who wants to do anything else first.
I'm gonna finish
Not
my
me.
apple pie.
Dylan, I'm gonna message you privately.
Excellent. I know that you sent me something, but I did not know what you meant by it.
Oh, it was the whole thing with the common man thing.
By the way, where is the donation box thingy?
Near the end of the bar, over here by the wall.
Are you gonna steal it?
No. No, never mind.
Okay, so is May here?
Here, May's here.
Okay, do you want to do something?
I mean, there's nothing really for him to do. Again, he thinks he's spreading, so I mean, he can't drink or anything.
No, but you also, as a monk, I believe you got a high wisdom, right?
He has a 13.
You can always do things.
Got
Yeah,
a
you can
13
always-
wisdom.
That's not terrible. You can always do things like perception to try and see if someone what people are wearing, to overhear conversations. There's all sorts of stuff that you can do, Mona.
Well, okay, I think I'll percept.
Okay, what are you doing? Like, what are you trying to perceive? Are you looking at people? Are you trying to listen on the table you're beside?
Try listening on conversation.
Okay.
14.
You listen in onto this table here, and you can you can make out words every now and then, but they seem to be taking pains to keep their conversation hushed. And you manage to hear the word password and warehouse several times.
Dylan, I sent you that private thing.
Cool. Read this.
Did you catch all of that, May?
Yeah, I heard the word password and warehouse several times.
What you deduced from that?
That we may need a password to get into the warehouse.
Okay. Are you going to go find that password? There wasn't anything looking like a password on the labels, right?
No, there was not. It's clear from this that now that you guys are hearing that the warehouse might have a password, that although the flyer is meant to let organization members know where the meeting is, and they need a password once they get to the warehouse to prove that they're already part of the sickle and hammer movement. Which means that another thing that you guys can deduce if you want to roll me an investigation, and I can go into more information about what that really means.
Investigation, you say?
I mean,
Yes, or an insight. Investigation or insight.
Did Mauna even tell anybody what he heard?
He said the only thing he said was we need a password.
Fuck me.
Well,
But who does he say it to, and so on?
Because we're kind of separated at the moment.
I mean, I guess he says it's okay.
I'm assuming Mauna like walks over and just mentions you guys.
Yeah.
Sits down at the
just
bar,
tell
has
us
some
it's
conversation.
This person who hasn't
So
said a
we can
word.
all roll?
Yes.
This person who hasn't said a word the entire time says we need a password.
Yeah.
Alistair kind of jumps in his seat and he goes, "Oh, my deepest apologies, sir. I thought you were mute."
Well,
You can talk?
This is a group check, by the way.
that tells you something about assuming.
Oh, Mona. Thank
29.
God.
Hold on, I have to add all this up. A group check. 9, 7,
Insight, right?
or
It can be
investigation.
investigation
either
or
one.
insight.
Okay, yeah. Okay,
Oh,
that's
fuck.
enough to pass. Alistair, you guys kind of as a group come to the conclusion that this means that this meeting is not meant for new recruits. So if you were going to have the plan of like trying to pretend to be a new recruit to get in, it's not going to work because it's clear that there's a password to get into the warehouse, which means that this must be a meeting for mid-tier or higher members of the Sickle and Hammer. So you're going to need to figure out that password, otherwise you'll have trouble at the door. There's a bunch of different ways you could go about doing this. You could try and get the information out of someone else in the movement here. You could go to the warehouse and see if you can figure it out there. All sorts of different.
There's also the other option that then opened up that if it's supposed to be for leaders, then maybe it would actually be a better idea to go back and
to
report.
headquarters.
Yeah, and report our findings to like
We miss
have a...
the meeting if we do.
Yeah, but it would be weird if we showed up, is what he's saying. Since
Yeah,
we
we
would
might
be...
not
I'm just saying that we could report the meeting.
Report it now, and then
we could rate them or something.
I'm also going to throw out to you as well that you guys know that this is a firstly that based on the distance from the maps, if you guys can't make it to headquarters and then to the warehouse at the time, there's almost a 0% chance that they'll get a raid there at the time.
Okay.
If you do go to the warehouse as well, from your investigation insights, that it's high enough for you guys to kind of get some information that this means that the Hammer and Sickle movement is likely a large movement with a lot of many faceteds, so it's not too hard. It won't be too hard for you guys to pass off as mid-tier members, as it's got enough people in it that they are essentially like having to limit who can come to a meeting.
So if we figure out the password, we can probably get in no must request.
Yeah, essentially.
Cool,
You know
that's
these kind of movements too. A lot of like people who are in the upper tiers don't know each other too well.
Hey, Mona.
He looks at you.
Which one of the people over there were the ones you said you heard saying password?
He points to that group.
So which one?
Whatever
You
group.
couldn't really tell. You just overheard it while you were drinking.
Then he shrugs.
Well,
Well,
you know that if they're talking about it as a group, it's likely all of them in on it.
that'll make it more difficult. Charming one person is a lot easier than charming a group. Well, there goes my idea. Sorry, guys.
I mean,
somebody else could roll like another perception if you so wanted. Because so
one
far
at
we
a
only
time.
have one
Who's
person.
better at listening?
I have a +1, so
Don't know what that means. I guess it's terrible.
I have a +1 to listening.
I don't know, if I thought I could actually approach a group without arousing suspicion and maybe talk one of them into sharing the password, because, oh, I forgot it. Yeah, I'd probably try to persuade them, but I don't think, even with my rolls, that's gonna pass.
like I said, you could try something else first, like perception, investigation, insight, so on.
Yeah, you can always do guys checks to get an idea for how good you think plans are.
Okay.
Sure,
Okay,
I just know that if I investigate or perception, it's gonna be very bad. So,
Okay.
I mean, you can talk about it as a group, and other people
Yeah,
can roll.
so
Martin.
hey, guys, how bad of an idea do you think this is?
I mean, what's Alistair doing?
Okay.
What's
I
that?
mean, all I wanted to do is to see if I can try to listen in on that conversation first to get an idea of how well we can approach an idea of like walking up to them and trying to figure it out from them, or if we need to figure it out somehow else. So I'm going to perception to see if I can hear what they're actually saying.
Okay. Alistair, you can overhear that they're no longer talking about the warehouse and passwords, but they seem to be talking about how this guy's wife has cancer and he's not certain how he's going to be paying the medical. You can
Does
hear that
anyone-
he's lost his job recently, well.
Ooh. Who here has money?
I only have 5 gold, so.
I'm broke.
Okay, well, my
Kane,
goods.
hand.
Okay,
I have some as well.
my
Or,
good.
Well, Luna has some.
My good sirs. How about a simple bribery?
I mean, wanna bribe?
You could save a man's wife's life, maybe, and
Sure,
get
but
the information you need at the same time.
how good of an idea do you guys think that is?
Okay, someone or the entire group can roll me checks to see how good of an idea that is. Any sort of check you think that is relevant to this idea of helping this guy pay his medical bills.
I'll roll an insight on the guy. See if he
Same.
seems like the type to
I'll roll
take
insight
that.
on the plan.
Would an investigation work? I think so.
Yeah, investigation will work.
Can I roll history to see if communists are outside of the idea of taking help from others?
Fuck
Of course,
me.
yeah.
Where
That's
are
my
all my good
whole-
rolls?
Oh my god, a good roll.
Okay. Moana, you were listening to the plan. It sounds like a pretty solid plan of getting the password from these guys. The thing is, you'll need to figure out a way to ingratiate yourselves in them. Yomi and Kona, you can't really figure anything out from your rolls. You don't end up adding anything to the conversation or anything useful. Israbo, however, when you roll history, you can actually think that you know that communism's one thing is that everyone pulls everyone else's weight. And that everything belongs to everyone, and so that the fact that people are that he's being charged for medical bills is something that they hate, but it's also something that they would definitely help each other out with. However, you're also aware that most people who are open communists or even closeted communists, they don't tend to have a lot of money. So,
Right.
depending on how you approach this, it could out you or it could severely help your cause. It depends on how much money you offer him, how you handle like offering the money, and if he asks where you got it, how you say where you got it.
We could say
I'll
it's
mention
like
that.
a pool that we all did, but
Yeah, we totally all pulled together.
I mean, oops.
Like, even if we didn't actually pull
By
together.
by slaving away at the feet of the capitalist dogs.
Well, since you hit a over 20 with that too, I'm gonna give you
Yeah.
additional information about the sickle and hammer movement. You know movement is a non-violent movement that's been gaining momentum and has several chapters in several major cities.
Alright.
So it's not too hard for you to say that you're from like a different city who had heard about his troubles, and you know.
Alright, cool. And they changed the password since I was traveling, so.
I mean, we don't know
Alright.
if different chapters have different passwords, so it might be weird if you're like, they changed the password, and then it's like, but we always have, like...
Oh, for fuck's sakes. Mona, do you say that out loud?
He says it normally.
The table that was talking turns to look at you.
Well, that's
Oh my god, that's the password.
God damn it, no it's not.
And
No, it's not.
they raise their glasses to you, which are the same type that you saw Kona and Alistair drink, with the same liquid in it. And one of them says, "All for one and one for all," back at you.
Can't raise the glass with them.
Alistair raises the same glass.
Raises my little prissy drink. Look, don't judge me, it's delicious.
And this is where Kane takes the initiative and tries to ingrain himself with the populace.
Oh jeez, now after all this time.
Bringing money?
They They totally, yeah. They accept you into their group. They like no one thinks it's weird that you're coming over. You bring a chair over too, and you sit down with them, and you can roll me a persuasion, or a perform to ingratiate yourselves with the group.
Wait, say that again.
Oh,
Oh no!
You can do this at advantage.
cool.
Oh, thank goodness.
I was about to say.
Oh god.
Yeah.
That was close.
You sit down and you chat with them like idly for a bit, and one of them asks you how long you've been part of the sickle and hammer movement.
For quite some time.
Damn.
And they nod at Mauna. They gesture you over too. In fact, they gesture your whole group over, and they push the tables together.
Nice.
Neat.
This is cool. That's a real party now.
A communist party?
Ain't no party like a communist party.
And he's gonna
And,
go.
The bartender
Yeah.
brings over all those like as he sees that there's a big group forming. He brings over the same vodka drink that everyone else was drinking. Puts it down for you all.
Hell yeah.
And Kane goes, not very long, but
Long enough.
long enough that it stirred something in my heart. A dream for all common men.
Yeah. They one of them says, "Here, I'll drink to that," and they have a drink. Kane begins giggling evilly inside his head.
When is he not giggling evilly inside of
When Aberforth steals his kills.
That's fair.
No.
Aw.
He goes, so how has everyone been faring? Everyone been doing well enough?
They start talking about that dude and his wife again.
Oh,
Oh,
I'm sure we
that
can
is
buy him
fine,
or
Lord.
something.
I can contribute with what little fortune I have, which is not much, I must tell you.
Yeah, they say thank you. Yeah, we're Victor, and they nod to the bartender, who's been keeping a pool for us all through the donations jar for the movement.
oh,
We're gonna try and get his. It's hard for a lot of us, being that some of us really shirk the system and we don't work jobs anymore. So it can be hard for some of us to pay for basic necessities and stuff. So covering us when we need it.
yeah. Well, I'm, like I said, newer to the movement, and I'm always looking to help. So I have some money that's just laying around that I can definitely give to help out. I'd rather it do that and go to everyone than sit and pile up like some capitalist pig would.
They nod. Though one of them says there's no real need to insult them, though. They just don't know any better. It's our job to educate them.
Maybe it's just different parts.
Kane, it's at this moment you realize that they're all pussies.
Yeah, and then this is where Kane takes his hand. And Kane's like, I've seen some horrible things done for small bits of money because that's all they really care about. And they lose track of what really matters, and it's that everyone coming together and working together for everyone's benefit.
They all nod.
Wow, this guy
Here,
sounds
here, I'll drink to that.
fun. This man must be the nicest person I've ever met.
Roll roll persuasion on it.
What?
Roll persuasion at advantage, Kane.
Nailed it. Please. Please.
Did you nail it with your hammer?
Yeah, they seem to be listening to you, and Kane, you've quickly taken control of the conversation and have them hanging on your every word.
I am a cult leader.
No, you're not a cult leader, you're just someone that talks right now.
You're an occult.
No, you don't understand. His race is meant to
Thank-
be cult leaders.
Yeah, Sanguinen are actually, this is what they do. They insert themselves with a local belief group, and then they slowly twist it to end up, like, worshipping their mothers, who then drink the blood of everyone in that religion. So essentially, Kane is doing what Kane's race is meant to do.
Okay, that's all fine, I guess.
Yeah, moving on, though. Yeah, you've got them hanging on your every word.
Bit of a pickle, though.
Kana keeps serving them drinks and stuff.
I feel like they changed the words on us again.
Hmm.
That's Isurbo saying that out loud, Dylan.
Yeah.
Yeah, they go.
Well, quietly, I'll be like, bit of a pickle, though. They keep changing the words. I understand the need for caution.
Oh.
but-
Are you not with each other? And he points at Mona and Yomi. Sorry, Mona and
Kane.
Kane. Yeah. By the way, Yomi, they did put a glass down in front of you.
She stares at it.
Kona drinks hers. You're young anyway.
Not technically. We travel from the same area, but we're all together. Oh, what is the word?
Woman after my own heart.
While we might not be more than acquaintances, we are bound.
All right. Roll me a persuasion or deception. One of them looks at you, Mona, and says, yeah, we've got someone in our group who always forgets the password too. And a guy who's been fairly quiet goes, hey, you should, if she's with you, you should probably tell her the password.
I'll take care of it. Thank you very much, though.
All right.
Do
And I
you know
guess,
the password?
All hanging out.
No, we don't know the password. That was
You
my...
know the password.
Huh?
Do we?
No.
You
We don't.
That was my attempt to
Well-
get the password. Kane.
Well,
Do
we
we?
figured out the password, but we didn't exactly roll to find out that it was the password. It was just, we kind of assumed it was the password because everyone raised their glass when those words were said,
Right.
which means that they immediately recognized us as part of their group, sort of.
I mean, true, but that doesn't mean it was the password. Plus, Mona was the one who said it, so if they thought Mona didn't know it, even though if Mona would have said
People
it...
can roll if they want. Like,
Investigate.
Yeah, so
I am.
that's the thing, guys. You can always roll.
Kane just sitting there like, damn it.
Oh, yeah. That's
I'm re-rolling that.
that's Kona. That's totally the password.
Okay.
All
Yeah,
for
that
one, one
was-
for all. They totally accepted you into their group with like super ease. Kane started talking to them. They all seemed happy when he was talking to them. Like
Neat.
you guys have essentially ingratiated into the group and confirmed it's definitely the password. And then
Okay.
afterwards, when like they were asking, they blatantly said that Mona knows the password by talking to him and saying it.
Then amazing. Well, look at the time.
I mean,
Uh,
okay, yeah, let's just move on then.
Yeah.
Well, my friends, I think it's
Kona
about time to
yawns.
get going. You know, don't want to be.
Yeah, you're right. How you getting there?
Not entirely sure. I was thinking about,
camp.
Here, come with us. We've got a truck. We can fit you all in the flat.
oh, that'd be great.
Oh, I was gonna
Neat.
say the only proper communist way by getting inside a wheelbarrow.
Jesus.
I don't get it,
Take
but
that
I
out.
want to.
So, you guys are brought alongside these dudes.
Dylan.
Yeah?
Same
Yeah, I know what you're doing. Yeah. Kane leaves last and says something to the bartender before leaving. And you guys are led to a street that the warehouse is on called Angel Street.
Can we roll for perception to see what he said?
I mean,
Sure.
we left
At
before.
disadvantage, because he was purposely waiting until you're all out of your shot.
Okay.
So this is like a perception to notice that he's.
I honestly don't care enough
Yeah.
to do it. I was
Okay.
just asking if it was a thing that just happened or if it's
I sneezed and launched one of the communists off the map.
No.
nice.
I actually don't know what happened to that dude's token.
Try Control Z.
He went to go take care of his
Sometimes
cancer
it works.
wife.
Sometimes it
Yeah.
There he is. Okay, got him.
You're welcome.
Oh, she got better.
All right. So you guys all end up on Angel Street, the warehouse, and the art, and you all walk down. I'm just moving you because you're being led by that group of people.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
You all walk down the street, noticing that I think I forgot to turn off global illumination.
No, I got weird vision cones.
Yeah.
Oh wait.
That's from the streetlights.
Oh, okay.
Let me just actually make sure that they're working right. Yeah, those are from streetlights. And as you walk through, you can see some guys hanging around in alleyways smoking nearby. And you come up to the door, and one by one, it's actually the same dudes who were in the bar. You're not sure how they got here first.
Because they're good runners. They're the Olympic runners.
And they ask each one of you the password.
We
I'm
all
guessing.
know it.
Yep.
Yeah.
You even can wait. You even wait for one of the communists to go first, and he says, "Yeah, one for all for one." Goes through, and then they make each of you say it.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys just instantly get access to the next area.
Mm.
Ooh. That was easy.
And one moment while I change the song.
Straight to battle music.
No.
Straight to Russian national anthem.
Please.
Copyright.
Can you even copyright the
An
national-
anthem.
Anthems are public use.
Not even better.
That's why we can sing "O Canada" and have no problems.
As you guys come, recognize is
I-
sitting on this box here.
You cut out for me, Dylan, so I didn't
Sorry.
hear a single word you said.
As you come into the warehouse, you see several people like kind of standing around and idly talking, as well as a few sitting at the other table. You recognize like instantly Carvo and Donald, and you recognize something a little bit more startling. Something that like the group has told you to be wary of. Sitting on a box here is a man wearing 2 gloves covering up to his forearms and a steel mask with 10 drawn eyes on it.
Ah,
Mm.
Oh,
What color are the eyes?
Orange. It's clear that this is something that you guys. Hold on, this isn't.
how is he not standing out like a sore thumb
He is.
to them?
He is. They are actively talking to him right now, and you guys can hear raised voices as Carvo stands up and slams a fist on the table and says, "For the last time, we are a non-violent organization. We are not interested in what you're offering." And you can't hear the guy in the mask's response because he's speaking quietly and it's muffled, but it seems to upset Carvo even more.
Well,
And that's what the scene that you guys are coming into.
Just
Did
walk
the
on
did the
that, but, yeah.
did the other guys come with us inside?
Yeah, they've already ingratiated themselves in one of the groups.
Are they like watching the guy?
No, they're either they've moved over and are like split up and now just talking to people. It looks like that meeting happening over there is meant for like the high tiers, and well, you can stand anywhere and listen. They are not participating in the conversations. It doesn't look like it's out of a social faux pas. It just looks like they have nothing to add.
Okay.
You can see Donald River just sitting with his hands folded. And
We know who he is?
yeah, straight up, you just straight up know who he is.
The
Donald River is
magical
this guy.
history check thing.
Donald River is this guy.
Okay.
Big story.
Carvo is this guy.
And
You
that
know
guy
who they
is-
are automatically, as it's like Krieger had put that information in your head.
Okay.
And that guy is Edgelord McFuckface.
Bad guy is a member of the Burned Hand. You should be able to easily tell that as well.
The rest of us don't know that, right? Only Israel.
No,
yeah,
the
I don't
rest-
think anyone here.
No, you guys just know that. It's like
Okay.
been
It's like
it's
public
information
knowledge, basically.
it's public knowledge that this organization has been very hostile to you guys. And so Krieger's been including to like that information in everybody's head always. That these guys do not like. They are very scary, they are very powerful, and you've never seen one with 10 spots on his mask.
Right. I guess can Yomi like kind of like move up, but like not really. Basically, she's like hovering around the table.
Move your token.
Okay. Are we doing like movement speed or no?
No, you can just be over there.
Okay. So she's basically pretending like she's looking around and like getting a feel for the place, but she's trying to listen in on the conversation over
Cool.
at the table.
Roll me something to do that, and then roll me a perception. And everybody else, tell me what you're doing as Yomi's doing that.
I'm following Yomi to make her not look conspicuous.
Okay, do the same check. Do the same check Yomi made. Performance.
Oh,
Which
yeah.
group? So we just lost track of the people we came with.
No, they are just
They're in the crowd.
They're in the crowd. You can totally point them out if you want.
And
Yeah, there's one of them in that group.
Okay, I'm hanging out in this group then.
Do you want
Okay.
perception at normal?
Yeah, I wanted perception at normal, but let me get everybody's rolls. Kondo, what are you doing? Were you going with Yomi and Bo? Okay, you're going with that group?
I'm going to be just standing there looking inconspicuous. Like, okay, well,
Okay.
that's what I do. I'm
Mona,
good.
I need to know what you're doing. Or are you just waiting by the door?
I'm just blending in.
He's just that he's trying to not draw attention to himself.
Okay, roll me some sort of check. Okay. I'm gonna go from lowest roll to highest roll. Okay? Kona, these three dudes, you're totally like essentially coming up to them, and I want you to essentially make me a social faux pas. Go ahead and tell me what social faux pas you do.
Here comes the money.
Alex?
Of course,
cannot-
you can't hear me.
Yeah.
She clothes the guy's wearing and asked him where he got them, like where he bought them.
Yeah, they all definitely start looking at you weird with that. It's only that group you seem to have like fucked up with. No one else is really taking notice to you. Next lowest performance. We're doing the performances first, and then the perceptions. So next lowest blend in was Alistair and Mona. Mona, you're kind of off on your own, so nobody really seems to care. Alistair, you're black, so everyone's kind of noticing you.
But I'm hiding.
Well, you've heard of White Russian.
No.
Kane, that's good enough. The dude that you know introduces you to the others. I'm assuming you had told them your name. What name did you give, by the way?
Sterling.
Sterling? Yeah, they all introduce you as Sterling Archer. One of them goes, that sounds like a pretty capitalist name. And then everyone kind of laughs as if it was a joke.
Obviously.
Yomi and Bo, you guys can get a little closer inconspicuously, you think, as the table is pretty engrossed in what they're doing, and they're not really paying attention to what's around them. It looks like all the higher-ups, they trust everyone in the group enough that they're not trying to hide what's being said.
Okay, so how much closer can we get?
As literally as close as you want. They do not, like, you've seen some other people drift close to the table and then, like, back up and stuff like that. There's more people than there are tokens in this room.
Okay. Yomi, you gonna get closer?
Yeah, that's perfect. That's perfect. Okay, so now we're gonna go perceptions, lowest to highest, and I'm gonna be asking what exactly you guys were looking for and what you're perceptioning. That will start with Kane with his 6. What were you trying to perception, Kane? Were you trying to listen in on the table?
No, Kane's really listening in to what people might be saying about what they're talking about at the table.
Yeah. You can like end up completely engrossed in the conversation you're having with the group that you're with, and you can't find, like, people in your group are talking too loudly. You can't make out anything at the table.
No, he's not listening to what's at the table. He's listening to the groups of people, like his group of people, to see if they say anything about the talk that's happening at the table.
In that case, you're like, in that case, Alistair is kind of talking over, and you're like, you can't make anything out really.
Okay.
Like, it's hard to follow the conversation, and anytime you try to, like, steer it towards the table, it just veers off into something else.
All right.
Alistair, the same sort of issues going on with you.
Okay.
Um,
I was just going to say that Alistair was more interested in this door, so he was like just trying to see if there was anything special with the door, or if it's
yeah, every
just
time
a
you
door.
try and, like, get a look in that direction, someone mentions your name, and you're forced to kind of, like, respond. So you can't get a moment to really check out that door too well without it looking really sketchy.
Right.
Yomi and Bo, you guys are close enough to the table. You can both re-roll your perceptions for advantage.
Cool.
Okay, I already rolled one, so I'm just gonna roll one more normal.
Yes.
I forgot to make my roll the first time, so I'm just
Oh.
gonna roll it at advantage.
Okay, it's still at advantage, so you don't get the nat 1, and Bo
You're
hits the
welcome.
nat 20. Bo, yeah, you can definitely overhear that the burned hand member is actively trying to offer the hammer and sickle movement troops, and is trying to be like, yes, no, you could overthrow the current system in a revolution, and we can provide you the resources. And the members of the hammer and sickle are essentially taking this as a blatant insult and saying, like, that no, we don't want to hurt people. We just don't like the way the system works, and we think we can accomplish it through peaceful protest.
Got it.
Like, and if we can't, then we can live our lives the way we want to live them, with some members of our group earning money in order to support the others. And the burned hand member is not losing his cool and speaking very, very, like, repetitively. And you're able, Bo, with that nat 20, to notice that he's weaving in magical words now into his speech, as if he was trying to stealthily cast a spell.
I know.
Got it. Would I be able to roll Arcana to figure out what spell it is?
Yes, but by the time that you roll Arcana, you'll only be able to try and get someone else to react. You won't be able to by then, because you'll have to have listened to most of the spell.
Okay.
So you'd have to pass that information on to someone else in your group.
That's fine. I can do that.
Cool. This is at normal. This is not at advantage unless you're spending an inspiration.
Yeah, no.
Okay. With a 22, you can tell that he's preparing a charm spell. It's going to be directed directly at Cuervo because he's mistakenly. Well, actually, you'd have to roll a investigate for why he's targeting Cuervo, but you know that the spell is some sort of charm, and the target is Cuervo.
So I'll mention to Yomi we need to get Cuervo's attention and fast. He's about to be charmed.
So rolling, casting stealthily is a feat, so I couldn't do that, right?
No, you can't. He can.
Yeah. Then okay, so Yomi's gonna start walking this way, and then, but she's gonna bring Bo with her, and she's gonna say something. She's gonna say kind of like.
I do want to point out that mechanically, I think what Dylan is trying to say is that it's essentially a surprise round. So you get one action to react to this thing. If you
Right.
move, you can't do anything else.
No, I was gonna talk as I walk by, basically.
Yeah, talking's a free action, but you won't be able to make any roll.
Then.
Bump him accidentally in the head.
Thank you for clarifying that, Martin. Earn an inspiration for doing so.
So what essentially is happening here is that only these two members can react to this thing actually happening, because the rest of us are completely unaware.
Unless Yomi, you want to make some sort of check to speak in code to stealthily pass this information on to the rest of the group. Or you can openly try and say that guy's casting magic, but you are aware from the information Krieger's giving you that this is a world without magic.
Yeah,
so,
I know. That's because basically my options right now, I was either going to cast Shatter somewhat nearby because it makes a loud noise or something like that.
Well,
Otherwise...
if you were hold on, let me just say something else. If you were to do something like that, since this is a world without magic, the only person who would be able to realize that it was you who did that would be the member of the burned hand.
Right.
No one else knows what magic is. So to everyone else, you'll have said some gibberish out loud, and then there'll have been a really big boom.
Yeah.
Which means at worst, someone who made a really high roll might connect that you had something to do with it, but everyone else is going to just be like, "What the fuck?" and
Right.
very, very startled. It's
definitely
one of the advantages being in a magicless world has.
Yeah.
If you do that, I have a perfect plan in mind.
Dylan, did the barkeep come here?
No,
No.
he's still at the bar.
Okay.
Okay, then I'm gonna cast Shatter.
Okay. You cast Shatter. There is a loud boom. You're casting it so this way no one gets hit by it, correct?
Yeah.
Can you ping me where?
Let me double check the radius on it, just so that I don't actually hit anybody. Okay, so it's 20-foot diameter, so I will cast it from here.
Okay. There's a big loud boom. Nearly everyone in the room turns to look, and you see Donald River immediately at the boom dive under the table. Also, now that you're closer to him too, I want to describe a little. I'll save that for later. He dives under the table.
Donald River, the not dying guy?
Yeah, the not dying guy immediately dives under the table, and flips the table as he's doing so, to be positioned between him and where the boom originated. His movement was super fast to do this. Everyone else gets up from the table and is looking in that direction, apart from the burned hand member, Yomi, who is looking directly at you.
Alistair, who's familiar to the explosions and such yells out, "It's a capitalist raid!"
God.
Okay. You can immediately see that that's making people spring to action, and they're all heading for the small door. Kane?
I will move with the groups towards the small door,
Okay.
but not leave. making sure all of my common men get out before I do.
Kona,
She gonna group.
you guys do not need to move your tokens right yet.
Mm-hmm.
Like now, essentially, this is just going to be like for the map. Kona, what are you doing?
She's gonna follow the group.
Okay, Mona.
We're just gonna say that for now.
Okay. As you yell, it's a capitalist raid. People like surge towards the doors, and Yomi, you can see the burned hand member, and you get a telepathic message of just like a wicked smile in your head. And then as you're watching, people pass in between you and the burned hand member, and next you see where he was a moment ago. He's just gone.
Do I notice where he goes?
Did he teleport behind me? Nothing personnel, kid.
No one sees. No one can see the burned hand member. He's just gone. You guys all move towards the doors together, and you're as you go, Cuervo stops your group and says, "Which one of you was the one that warned the bartender?"
That'd be me.
Good work. We were prepared for this. Thank you. We're going to be meeting at the emergency fallback place. The bartender said that you were probably from a different chapter.
Yes.
Do you know where it is?
No, you'd have to remind us.
He gives you an address.
Perfect, thank you.
Meet there, 3 hours.
Yep, we'll be there.
And at that point, Cuervo rushes out, and River rushes out after him. And as he does, you get a good look at this man. It's clear. Cuervo's not Russian. Cuervo is very clearly Mexican.
I'm making a Russian.
Oh, okay.
Ugh.
You guys
Because
get
if they weren't Russian, then they'd be Stalin.
you guys get a good look at Donald River, and you can see that his face is a mess. You can see that there are clear in one of his temples that there's a straight up like old scar that looks like it was made by a bullet. His throat has a straight line going across the front, and what appears to be a jagged, big scar on the back of his neck. You can't see any more scars really because of his clothing, but his face looks intact in the fact that he's not missing any teeth. His nose looks like it's been broken before, but he's not missing either of his eyes. His hair is kept very cropped short close to his head, and you can see some burn marks on his skull.
He fucked up.
And he nods at you as he moves past. And I think this is a good spot to end the session tonight. What about you guys?
Mm-hmm.
That's fine by me.
All right.
Hell yeah, my thing came in handy.